What is a Ponzi scheme and how can you avoid falling victim to one? Well, at the basic level, it's a financial confidence trick. Like all con tricks, the basic driving force is greed, both on the con artist but also the victim. So if a financial deal looks too good to be true, then it probably is. Now when you try to walk away from the deal, if it really was that lucrative, there are people queuing up all over the place to put their money with them, so they won't be bothered about you walking away. If on the other hand it's a con, they'll be desperate to keeping you involved. The harder they try to keep you in, the faster you should walk away from the deal. The problem is, of course, that not all Ponzi schemes are easy to spot at first glance, and a number of well-educated and even highly experienced financial advisors who you'd think would know better have lost millions to Ponzi-type schemes. Now, Ponzi schemes are related to the matrix and pyramid schemes, and they work in a similar way by promising and even initially delivering a good rate of return to early investors. However, this is just to encourage more people to invest in the scheme before it collapses. The name dates back to Charles Ponzi in the 1920s America, but it's reappeared numerous times since. It has several common factors. First factor, and also the one that should be the biggest warning factor, is a startlingly good rate of return on the investment. A Ponzi scheme may have a guaranteed rate of return of something like 20% a year for your investment. Whilst this may seem good, you have to ask yourself, what are they actually doing to create that rate of return? If other places can't come near to this rate of return, what are they doing that's so different? Next is likely to be a very complicated business structure with lots of subsidiary companies running different parts of the businesses and passing money between the sectors, various services, even loaning money to other parts and getting interest back from them. All of this smoke and mirrors is make it difficult for accountants and individuals to actually track where the money is coming from, where is it going, who's creating it, and who's spending it. Alternatively, the company may say that the investments are in some highly complicated financial instruments that they can't give full details of because were they to give full details, other companies would copy them and they'd lose their advantage. It's normally added to by tagging them with some technical sounding jargon like futures counter-cyclical anticipation. Again, this is an attempt to prevent someone from looking too deeply at the accounts. Now if you do get a good look at the accounts, you can see what's going on. The money from the new investors, rather than being put to work expanding the business, is generally being used to pay the interest and dividends of the earlier investors. This initial payment is important because it gives the fraud an air of respectability and encourages more investment, both from initial investors who see it's paying more than their other investments, so push additional money into the scheme, but also from new investors who are encouraged to get on board the gravy train before something happens. The problem for the scheme is it needs an increasing number of new investors to pay the returns for the previous investors. Eventually it will collapse. It's going to be either because they fail to get enough new investors, or too many people try to withdraw the money from the investment to bank their profits. Often people behind the scheme will see this change coming and will restrict or delay people from withdrawing, or stop or reduce the payments of dividends and interest. At the same time, they'll pocket all the additional money being invested and shortly afterwards make a run for it, leaving the investors out of pocket and wondering what went wrong. So let's look at Ponzi schemes, ask questions, check accounts, and if it looks too good to be true, walk away.